To say that I am upset would be an understatement. Today, I was indefinitely suspended on Twitch. So for those of you who are unaware, yesterday I was streaming some good old Mario Kart Wii, and I was having a lot of fun, as I usually do, until the stream was abruptly interrupted by a swift ban. And you guys may be saying, Osterbone, what were you banned for? You're an edgy kid. You do some things that not a lot of people do. But what did you do that got you the permaban? The permaban. Well, Twitch has the answer for you. Hate speech. That's right. I got indefinitely suspended for hate speech. Now, initially, I was confused because when you think of hate speech, you think of being incredibly racist, a bigot, discriminating, outright targeting people. You know, things that I don't really do. And you guys may be thinking, Avi, you're full of it. You know, you will loosely say curse words and slurs and things like that, but when it comes to Twitch, I keep myself in check because I realize that on Twitch, it's a lot stricter of a place. You can't just outright say nigger on Twitch. So when I was banned for hate speech, the first thing I did was check my email, and this is what it read. Based on review of your community reports about your activity or content, we have issued a community guideline striking your account for reason hate speech and indefinite suspension from accessing or using Twitch services. Now, the first thing that kind of made me raise an eyebrow was the fact that Twitch works on a 3-strike system. Now, I received 1 strike about a month prior for prank calling, which I was unaware was against Twitch rules, but I got a strike for it, and I agreed with it, and I was like, look, you know, I shouldn't have prank called, that was my mistake. But this was only my 2nd strike, which, you know, made me think, why am I now gone? And that's when I appealed, where on top of saying, hey, this is only my 2nd strike, but also saying, where in the world did you guys find any sort of hate speech? So I wrote this lovely appeal, and you can pause it right now and read it if you'd like. But about 20 hours later, from the time that I submitted my appeal, I received this email. Hello, Officerbone. Well, hello to you, Twitch. Your account was suspended for hate speech, such as racism, sexism, homophobia, and other untargeted harassment. This type of activity is not permitted on our services per our community guidelines regarding hate speech and other harassment. The first thing that I think of is my chat, because when it comes to the chat on my channel, I tend to run it very loose. I don't keep a tight cap on people. The rule of thumb is basically you could say whatever you want as long as it isn't releasing personal information, threatening, or if you're doing it to a different user, they have to be okay with it. Aside from that, you are free to say whatever you want without problems. And, you know, this does include being, you know, racist or homophobic, but it's not things that I'm putting out, it's things that my chat are putting out. And who is my chat to dictate the status of my channel? So that was one thing that ticked me off, was the fact that they might have taken the chat into consideration when issuing this indefinite suspension. One thing in the email that I received that made absolutely no sense was untargeted harassment. So I went and looked at their terms of service and their community guidelines, and lo and behold, there was absolutely no such thing as untargeted harassment, only targeted harassment. I may say some jokes about Jewish people, mainly because I am Jewish, and I may be like, oh, we like quarters, we like sniffing for those pennies, but I'm not saying Quentin is sniffing for those pennies, or Ryan is a dirty, stinky Jew. I don't do that. I will either do it in a general sense that doesn't classify any specific individual, or I won't do it, period. I also happened to reach out to Twitch support regarding the specific use of the N-word, because during that stream I did say things like nibba or nigga, but I never said the hard R. So although this doesn't really apply to my case, I still think it's interesting. Basically, about 2 months prior, I reached out to Twitch support asking about the use of the N-word and what their status was on it, because I noticed that people were getting banned for it, yet there was no specific rule in their guidelines, so I straight out asked, hey, is the word nigger banned? And the response was very vague and didn't outright say no. So even though I didn't use the N-word specifically, I still found it very weird how they wouldn't clarify a question like that. But during my active time on Twitch, I became a Twitch affiliate and accrued a little over $70 in Twitch revenue that was supposed to be paid out. You know, once I hit 100, that was the threshold. But now that I'm terminated, I obviously can't work towards getting that 100, so I'll probably just get the 70. Well, that's where you're wrong. You see, Twitch snuck in this little clause right here, basically stating, and I'll put it on screen for you, that if we decide to close your account for any reason, we keep your money, and so that was just an incredible slap to the face. Not just to me, but to everyone who supported me thinking that they were supporting me. Everyone who subscribed with Twitch Prime, everyone who cheered, anyone who spent $4.99 per month to fund me, the creator. And Twitch gets to keep all that revenue, all for themselves. If they refunded it to people, maybe I would understand, but the fact that they're like, no, we're just not going to share it with you, it seems wrong and probably borderline illegal. So for those of you who are wondering, well, Lobsterbone, what are you going to do now? You're permabanned on Twitch, and you can't stream on YouTube. Well, here's my answer. My strike on YouTube expires November 6th, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.